The fall of the Berlin Wall. The fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9, 1989, is one of the most significant events in modern history, symbolizing the end of the Cold War, the reunification of Germany, and the triumph of freedom over oppression. This momentous occasion was the result of decades of political tension, social change, and the indomitable spirit of people yearning for liberty. After World War II, Germany was divided into 4 occupation zones controlled by the Allied powers: the United States, the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and France. Berlin, the capital, located deep within the Soviet zone, was also divided among these 4 powers. The ideological differences between the Soviet Union and the Western Allies soon escalated into the Cold War, a period of intense political and military rivalry. In 1949, the separate German states were established: the Federal Republic of Germany, West Germany in the Western zones, and the German Democratic Republic, East Germany in the Soviet zone. West Germany developed into a prosperous democratic state, aligned with the Western Bloc, while East Germany became a communist state under Soviet influence, marked by political repression and economic hardship. The Berlin Wall's construction began on August 13, 1961, as East Germany sought to stem the tide of its citizens fleeing to the West. Between 1949 and 1961, approximately 2.7 million East Germans had escaped to West Germany through Berlin. This exodus threatened the economic stability and political legitimacy of the East German state. To prevent further emigration, the East German government, with the support of the Soviet Union, erected a barbed wire and concrete barrier that would become known as the Berlin Wall. Initially, the wall was a simple barbed wire fence, but it quickly evolved into a complex and formidable fortification. It consisted of a 12-foot-high concrete wall stretching 96 miles, fortified with watchtowers, guard dogs, and a death strip, a no-man's land filled with anti-vehicle trenches, barbed wire, and landmines designed to prevent escapes. The wall effectively isolated East Berlin from West Berlin, turning the city into a symbol of the Cold War divide. The Berlin Wall not only physically divided the city, but also symbolized the ideological division between communism and capitalism. Families and friends were torn apart overnight, unable to cross the border without risking their lives. East Berliners lived under a repressive regime with limited freedoms and severe restrictions on travel, while West Berliners enjoyed relative freedom and prosperity. The impact of the Berlin Wall on daily life in Berlin was profound. For East Berliners, the wall represented a constant reminder of their lack of freedom. The East German government, under the rule of the Socialist Unity Party (SED), maintained strict control over every aspect of life. The Stasi, East Germany's secret police, monitored and suppressed dissent, creating a climate of fear and mistrust. The wall not only prevented physical movement, but also stifled intellectual and cultural exchange. Despite the dangers, many East Germans attempted to escape. Some succeeded through ingenious methods, such as tunneling under the wall, flying over it in hot air balloons, or crashing through it with vehicles. However, many were captured or killed in the attempt, with an estimated 140 people losing their lives at the wall. These stories of escape and tragedy highlighted the lengths to which people would go for freedom. By the 1980s, the political landscape in Eastern Europe was shifting. Mikhail Gorbachev, who became the leader of the Soviet Union in 1985, introduced reforms such as glasnost openness and perestroika restructuring, which encouraged greater transparency and economic reform. These changes emboldened movements for freedom and democracy across Eastern Europe. In East Germany, dissatisfaction with the communist regime grew. Protests demanding political reforms and the right to travel increased in frequency and size. The Lutheran Church played a significant role, providing a space for dissent and organizing peace prayers that became rallying points for protests. The most notable of these demonstrations was the Monday demonstrations in Leipzig, which began in September 1989 and drew thousands of participants. These protests gained momentum throughout 1989 as people took to the streets in unprecedented numbers. The East German government, initially responding with repression, soon found itself unable to quell the growing unrest. The pressure for change became impossible to ignore, and the government began to consider reforms. The tipping point came on November 9, 1989. That evening, East German government spokesman Günter Schabowski held a press conference to announce new travel regulations. The policy was intended to allow East Germans to apply for visas to travel abroad more easily. However, Schabowski, seemingly confused and uninformed about the specifics, announced that the regulations would take effect immediately, without delay. This unexpected declaration spread rapidly, leading thousands of East Berliners to gather at the border crossings, demanding to be let through. The border guards, unprepared and lacking clear instructions, were overwhelmed. Shortly before midnight, the guards at Bornholmer Straße, one of the main border crossings, relented and opened the gates. As word spread, scenes of jubilation erupted across Berlin. People from both East and West Berlin converged on the wall, celebrating together in an outpouring of joy and relief. They climbed on top of the wall, danced, and began to dismantle it piece by piece. The fall of the Berlin Wall was broadcast live to a global audience, becoming a symbol of hope and the power of people to bring about change. The immediate aftermath was one of unrestrained joy and disbelief. Families who had been separated for nearly 3 decades were reunited. Strangers embraced, and people celebrated in the streets of Berlin and across Germany. The sight of East and West Berliners dancing together on the wall, a structure that had long symbolized division and repression, was powerful and poignant. The fall of the Berlin Wall marked the beginning of the end for the East German regime. Within weeks, the ruling Socialist Unity Party (SED) was forced to resign, and a new government committed to democratic reforms took power. The collapse of the wall also had a domino effect across Eastern Europe, accelerating the fall of other communist regimes. The fall of the Berlin Wall set in motion a series of events that led to the reunification of Germany. On October 3, 1990, less than a year after the wall fell, Germany was officially reunified, marking the end of nearly half a century of division. The reunification process was complex, involving significant political, economic, and social challenges. East Germany's centrally planned economy had to be integrated into West Germany's market economy, and significant investments were needed to modernize the infrastructure and improve living conditions in the East. The disparities between the two regions were stark, with East Germany lagging behind in terms of technology, productivity, and overall economic health. Despite the challenges, the reunification of Germany was a monumental achievement, symbolizing the triumph of democracy and freedom over tyranny and oppression. It also marked a significant turning point in the global political landscape, leading to the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 and the end of the Cold War. The process of reunification was not without its difficulties. Many East Germans faced unemployment and economic hardship as they adjusted to the new economic system. However, the commitment to reunification remained strong, and over time, substantial progress was made in closing the economic gap between East and West Germany. The fall of the Berlin Wall remains a powerful symbol of human resilience and the enduring desire for freedom. It serves as a reminder that even the most formidable barriers can be overcome through collective will and determination. Each year, on November 9th, Berliners and people worldwide commemorate this historic event, celebrating the courage of those who fought for their freedom and the unity that was achieved. The story of the Berlin Wall's fall is a testament to the power of hope and the indomitable human spirit, inspiring generations to believe that no wall, no matter how high or long-standing, can withstand the force of a united and determined people. The Berlin Wall's fall also had profound implications for global politics. It accelerated the collapse of communist regimes across Eastern Europe, as countries like Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and Romania moved toward democracy and independence from Soviet control. The momentum generated by these events contributed to the dissolution of the Soviet Union itself in 1991. In Germany, the fall of the wall led to a period of introspection and healing. The scars of division took time to heal, but the country emerged stronger and more unified. Berlin, once a symbol of division, transformed into a vibrant and dynamic capital, embodying the spirit of a reunified Germany. The fall of the Berlin Wall is not just a historical event. It is a cultural touchstone that continues to resonate. It has been immortalized in countless books, films, documentaries, and artworks. The wall itself, once a symbol of oppression, has been repurposed as a canvas for artistic expression. Segments of the wall have been preserved as historical monuments, and the East Side Gallery in Berlin, a 1.3-kilometer section of the wall, features murals painted by artists from around the world, celebrating freedom and human rights. The story of the Berlin Wall's fall is also a crucial part of education, teaching future generations about the importance of democracy, human rights, and the power of peaceful protest. Museums and memorials dedicated to the history of the Berlin Wall serve as important sites for reflection and learning. The fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9, 1989, was a momentous event that changed the course of history. It symbolized the end of the Cold War, the triumph of democracy over dictatorship, and the enduring power of the human spirit. The images of people from both East and West Berlin celebrating together on the ruins of the wall remain among the most iconic and powerful symbols of freedom and unity. The legacy of the Berlin Wall's fall continues to inspire and remind us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, hope, courage, and the desire for freedom can prevail. It is a story of resilience, determination, and the unbreakable bonds that unite us as human beings. The fall of the Berlin Wall is a testament to the enduring truth that no wall can withstand the power of people united in the pursuit of liberty and justice. Thanks for watching.